The zombies were closing in. There must have been at least 1,000 of them, and the sound of their low, anguished moans followed me. Stay calm, I said to myself. But as I turned the corner to find myself faced by a wall, a dead end, I knew that really wasn't going to be easy. I had to act, and act fast. I took a deep breath and focused. A moment later, I felt a familiar surge of energy from my chair. We were one, pulsating and humming with power. Suddenly, I took off. I freewheeled straight up to the top of the wall in the chair, then somersaulted backwards. I came down onto the heads of the approaching zombies and proceeded to bounce off them, splattering them one by one, as if I was in some sort of horrific pinball machine. Bang, 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 bang! Ring, ring! Oh! I opened my eyes groggily. Was this part of the dream? Bang, 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 bang! Ring, ring, ring! No, there were no zombies anywhere. I wasn't in my wheelchair, and I definitely wasn't dreaming. In fact, I was wide awake and tucked up in bed. Who is banging on our door at this time on a Sunday morning? I heard Dad shout as he hurried down the stairs. This had better be important. My dad was born in a place called Ogun State in southwestern Nigeria. Mum says the locals there are like the Bristolians of Nigeria because they have very strong accents. When Dad was angry or concerned, his Ogun State accent became super strong. I strained to hear what was happening as Dad opened the door. Ha! Brian! Have you won the lottery? Is that why you are banging on our door like a madman? Well, actually, no. Well, yes, but, can I see Ade, please, Mr. Adepitan? Dad must have said yes, because the next thing I knew, Brian came bounding up the stairs and into my room. If you have won the lottery, Dad shouted after Brian, tell your father I would like a new Ferrari and maybe a year's supply of moi moi. That should be enough to compensate for you waking me up so early. Hi, bro, I started to say, but before I could even finish saying his name, it's gone! All of it! Gone! Vanished! Stolen! Every last penny of it! I put it... Whoa, Brian! Stop! Take a deep breath. What are you talking about? Brian blinked. It was almost as if I'd pressed pause on a remote control. He'd been talking fast forward, and now he was completely still. Then, a moment later, it was like I'd pressed play, but at normal speed. Last night, after we'd finished the car wash, I went home with the money we'd raised, £36.17, and put it in the strongbox in the shed like usual with the rest of the money we'd collected. And then I locked the strongbox. I definitely locked it. Definitely. Okay, Brian, so then what happened? Nothing. What do you mean, nothing? Well, then I just went to bed and fell asleep. Brian, I said as calmly as I could, I don't mean what happened the moment after you locked the strongbox. What happened that made you come round here trying to smash the door down at 8 in the morning? Oh, I see, he said. Well, this morning I got up and went to check the strongbox, and that's when I made my terrible discovery. All the money, all £186.49, has gone. What? I shouted, now wider than wide awake. How can that be possible? Well, said Brian, I've given that a lot of thought and got it down to 3 possibilities. It could have been eaten by a hedgehog that used one of its spikes to open the box. Aliens who can pass through solid material might have taken it, or it could have been stolen by someone who has the key. I think it might be that last possibility, Brian, I said. But I thought you had the only key. So did I, he said. But my mum says that make of strongbox uses the same key for all its boxes, which might explain why we got it for half price from the pound shop. All the money? I exclaimed as the news began to sink in. All the money. This is terrible. Yes, said Brian, but there's something else. What? I felt like a punch bag that had just had all the air whacked out of it. It might be best if you see for yourself, Addy.